Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and start with 3.3 Manage Forms, Fields, and Mail Merge. So you're going to working in 3.3A, B, C, and D. In this first video, because this is quite a bit to explain, I'm only going to do this part right here, this first bullet with these 3 sub-bullets, and then I'll stop it and make other videos because this is kind of a long process. So I'm going to go ahead and go open my 3.3A document. And I'm going to have to go and do File, Save As, and save this to my desktop so I can edit it because it's a read-only. So what we're going to be doing in this one is it's wanting you to use the content controls available in Word and add the content controls referred to in the document and set the properties for those content controls as specified. So the instructions are in the document. It's what it's wanting you to do. In this task, your result will be an order form which users can then select the products, specify the quantity, the color they want. So it's kind of like a form in Google Docs where you have a form, and y'all have done that a lot here at school. You can go and have a drop-down list and you can fill in different fields. Well, there is a way to create this in Word. So the purpose of these forms is you can use it as a template, so then it can be used over and over again instead of just being used more than once. So when you create these forms, you use the content controls, and they're different things like text boxes, check boxes, and lists, where then you can also add other text, images, and other types of elements like shapes and whatever you need to do on this form. And so these are called the fields on the form. And so we're going to go through this document, and we're going to create the fields. So you can see right here it says add 2 additional rich text content controls for phone number, email address, and lock these controls so they can be deleted. The first thing you're going to have to do, and you may not already have this, but if you do not have the developer tab on your ribbon, you're going to need to go customize your ribbon so you can have this tab. So to do that, you're going to go to File, and you're going to go to Options, and then you're going to go to Customize Ribbon, and then you're going to have to scroll over here if you don't see it and cruise on down, and more than likely this is not checked. If you have it, then it would be checked, so you wouldn't have to do this step. But if you don't have it, you're going to come here and you're going to check this, and then you're going to say OK, and then that gives you the developer tab that you're going to need. Now you're going to be working in the control box right here for this assignment, and this gives you 2 different views. You can be in the view here, or you can go into design mode. So on design mode, you can see that this is a content box or a content control, and this is, and this is. And this is where you can go edit it. So you can see right here, there's too many spaces in there between the first and name. So I went and I got rid of that. So then you can click off design mode, and this will show you. And this also shows you when you're in design mode where there are content controllers already in the document. Okay. So if you come up here, you have all these little boxes in the controls, and these are the different type of controls that you're going to have. So if you hover over it, it'll tell you which one this one is. This is Rich Text Content Control, where you can insert rich text. Well, what is rich text? This is any kind of text that you may want to give specific formatting to, like if you want to bold it or italic it. And then here you can also add a table with rich text, or you can add an image. You also have this image control here, or picture content control, where you can insert a picture. And you can see here how these double A's are bold. That means that you can format those. If you come over here to this one, this is plain text. What plain text is where you're just going to simply insert a text field, like first name, last name, addresses, job titles. the text is plain text. That means it can only, there's a limited formatting that you can do to it. Then you have your picture content control. On that one, pretty easy. This is where you can embed an image into the file, or you can use it to display a logo, for example, or pictures of your whatever you're trying to, if you have like choices, like different t-shirt sizes or just whatever you need to have in there, you can use the pictures for. This is your building block gallery content control. So the building blocks is when you use, you want to use a specific block of text from another Word document, and then you can use that over and over and over again. And so it's not like you're having to type it over and over again. And then this is just simply a checkbox where you can go if somebody wants to check off a list. This is your combo box where you can insert an actual list where they can go and choose like size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or small, medium, large. This one is a drop-down list where you can do the same thing, give them options of, different products, or, pick different names or however you want to use it. This is your date picker. It'll just put, when you insert this, it'll actually put a calendar on there, and that way you can go and choose the actual date. Repeating a section content control. This contains other controls that you need to repeat the contents of that control over and over again as needed. And then this one is legacy tools, which we're not even going to get into that. And then the properties, this is where you're going to need to go and to insert any of the property controls for each individual content control placeholder. So for this one, it wants us to do one for a phone number and an email address. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to, nope, because this is a content control right here. So I've got to get out of this. I'm going to come down here and click. Okay, so this is where I'm going to insert the first one, and it wants a rich text. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to click on this, and then you can come up here to your properties, and this is where you're going to title it. So we're going to put phone number, and then it specifically says to lock these controls so they cannot be deleted. So you have different options here. If you wanted to change it to red, the font color, whatever, maybe I want to make it red, you can do that. This is other options here. Now this is where you're going to check the control cannot be deleted. Okay, so then I'm done there. Now see how it says phone number here? I don't know why it did that. It's saying not putting phone number there. Okay, and then the next one is we want email address. So you'll go here and you can, that's what I did wrong. You can type in email address here and then click off of it and come up here to your properties, choose cannot be deleted. So I need to come in here and do phone number. Okay, so that gives us those two. So I'm going to delete the instructions there because you don't want the instructions on your form when you save it. This wants you to add a combo box content control for the quantity, and for the color and size. So for the quantity, it says it can be 1 to 5. Okay, so we're going to go here, and this is where we want our combo box. So I'm going to go find it, which I think it's this one. Yes. So I'm going to come here, and then you have to go into properties, and then this is where you're going to create your drop-down list. So I'm going to go add. So they wanted it to have values of 1 through 5. So I'm going to add a 1 and say, okay, add a 2, okay, add a 3, okay, add a 4, okay, add a 5, okay, and then hit okay. So now you'll see those are your options. They can choose quantities 1 through 5. So we do the same thing over here. We're going to do the combo drop-down box. Now on this one, we want to add color and size in a range of colors and sizes. So I'm going to go to properties and I'm going to add. So I'm going to say this one is red, small, add blue, medium, add white, large. And then I'm going to go OK. So when I click this drop down, those are my sizes. Okay, now it says add 2 more items to the combo box control for product. So if here, this one was already in here, so if I go click here, I already see these options, but I can go add some more. I'm just going to go to properties. I'm going to go to add, and I'm going to add a t-shirt. Okay, and I'm going to add a sweatshirt. I'm going to go OK. Okay, so now I'm going to click the drop down, and now you can see those are my other options there. Okay, so I'm going to go delete this. I've got 5 minutes left, so I'm trying to get through this. Okay, so add check boxes for the other 2 shipping options, and then lock the controls so they cannot be deleted. Okay, so here you're going to go, you want a checkbox here, so we're just going to go add the checkbox, go to properties, make sure you click here to check it where it cannot be deleted. And the same thing for ground. So this is giving whoever's filling out this form the option as to whether or not they want to have their product that they've ordered shipped express, second day, or ground. So then they can come here, and when it's saved, and you can't go and click in here. Oh yeah, you can see that's what it looks like. Okay. So see if we go to design mode, now you can see where we've gone and added these. This one looks different because of what I did earlier. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to take this off. So now that looks better. Okay. So I'm going to go get out of design mode. Okay, so we've got those. Now it wants you to add a date picker for a preferred ship date, and then set the properties for the control of the date format that you want. So we're going to put this here, and the date picker is right here, and then we're going to go to properties, and now my properties box is a little bit bigger, and I have different options for this. So I'm going to make sure I want it to say Monday, March 20th, 2017. Boom. So then I'm going to click off of that, and so then when you click here, you can see that there is a calendar where they can go pick the date. Then this says add a plain text for special instructions. So if I go here, I'm going to click here, then I'm going to put in here special instructions. Okay. Now this says, this last one, save the following text as a building block control to use on other forms. It's talking about this here because you want to be able to repeat this over and over again. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to delete this. This is your building blocks. So I'm going to select that. And so now I'm going to go to the properties, and I want to change the gallery, the quick parts, to auto text. And then this way it's going to show up if I want to use this in another document. So I'm going to hit OK. And so then it says to save the form as order form. And so you would just go to File, Save As, and change it as order form. Okay. Now the second box is add a form field of each type to the form you created in the previous order task. So you would just go through here, and you could add another box here for address. Okay, you don't have the person's address, you're going to need that, or the company's address, whatever. Here you could add some more drop-down options. Here you could add, if they want, just ground, UPS, whatever you want to do. So you could go through and add all those different ones. And these are all your controls up here. You can go to design mode and see where they're at. And then the third one is wanting you to protect. Oh, I've got a minute left. Is to protect the order form document by using restrict editing. So this is where we have restrict editing, and this is where you would go, and you could go in here, and whatever options you're needing to restrict the editing, then you could do that, depending on what you want, other people allowed to do. Okay, so then that's how you would go about creating the form and using the content controls, and these are all now fields that can be filled in.